What's up, everyone? Back for another podcast. We're back to horror-related content for a podcast, and I have another special guest with me, and he's a beautiful Australian today. We have with me Sunderland.
Hi, that's lovely. That was a nice intro.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Hello, everyone.
So, if you don't know who Sunderland is, he is another horror video game YouTuber, a very good one at that also. Unbiased opinion, just saying.
Stop it.
But he's an awesome dude. Got some really cool reviews. Talk about canceled horror games as well. As of recently, he uploaded a video about Japanese Silent Hill stuff that we didn't get in America or anywhere else. So, but
yeah, I just like making the most depressing content ever. Canceled horror games, stuff you're never gonna own. It's just great.
So, we are here today talking about horror games through generations, as in through the different generations of consoles released over the years. In some form or fashion, there's a horror game, whether it be like based off of something or just a completely original story that's more so horror. That's what we're here today to talk about.
That's what always surprised me. I was like, I didn't realize that there was horror games going back to the friggin' Atari. And they're just like two pixelated eyes running around a house, and you're like, yeah, horror's sick.
Well, weirdly enough, that's actually the first generation we're going to talk about, is the Atari generation.
Ooh.
Now, I never fully played Atari games. I have an Atari, but like I'm missing some stuff so I can actually play it. And I hate it.
I think I played, like, Donkey Kong on it once. That shitty rip-off Donkey Kong game.
Like, I hate it because I want to play on an actual Atari. I'd never done it. But
yeah, I've never touched one, but, like, besides that, like, 5 minutes of playing Donkey Kong, and then I've never seen an Atari before, besides that. So... I'm not the most educated person in this.
So, okay, so like what games were on the Atari that were horror? So, let's see. We have what's called Haunted House, where the first time I got exposed to that was during the Halloween Atari review from AVGN, actually, when I was in elementary school. No,
jeez, he's been around forever.
Middle school. I was in middle school.
Oh, that's the one of the eyes. Nailed it. Yes.
So, like Haunted House, you're just literally a pair of eyes going through a giant spooky house. I honestly don't know the goal of it.
I'm looking at screenshots right now, and I couldn't tell you what this game is supposed to be. It looks like identical rooms and eyes. I think you just got to get to the end of the level. I don't think it's any more complicated than that.
Maybe it's also like a high score based game as well, because usually during the Atari era, a lot of games were based on high score.
Oh, yeah, true.
But that's just a guess. That actually a lot of the games that we're pulling today are from both the Texas Chainsaw Massacre review and the Halloween review. Both of them ending up on Atari, nonetheless.
Yeah, I know about those games. I did do a video on bullshit expensive horror games, and those were some of them.
Oh yeah. Like, God. They're like, all right, let's get them out the way. Let's talk about Halloween real quick. I mean,
Halloween is probably... It was the first, wasn't it? Was it Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the first?
I believe Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually the first one. I'm guessing it is. Like, I'm actually looking this up right now just to see where I am on this. Okay, so the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one came out in March 14th of 1983. Whereas Halloween came out in October of 1983.
Oh, so they were pretty close.
Yeah,
they're close together. The Halloween game is surprisingly violent.
Yeah, yeah. Like weirdly enough, because like the goal of Halloween is just to like get kids you're babysitting and then move them to another room where Michael Myers isn't there, and you get scores. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. And then like you get like. Michael can actually stab the kids, nonetheless.
Yeah, he's like full on just... Like, I don't know if I can swear.
No, you can, by all means.
Cool. I'm Australian, so it's kind of hard not to. He just, like, fucks their shit up, basically. Like, when I was watching footage, I just couldn't... I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Some, like, Atari shit where a child's getting murdered. I guess it's the same console as that. What was that, cowboy game where the guy was like naked.
Custer's Revenge.
Yes, so I guess it's the same console with that shit, so I shouldn't be too surprised, but it was a bit full on.
And then, like, even, like, when you die in the game, you actually get decapitated, and your body's still moving as blood's coming out.
Yeah, no game even today, like, dares to really show you a child get stabbed to death.
No.
So,
I mean, unless you're The Last of Us.
Yeah, but that's, like, done because it's artistic, and this game's so forward-thinking with its murder of children. It's so good. And then, but what I like about the Halloween is that it never... Like, the carts it came on rarely came with an actual sticker on the front.
Like... Yeah, like...
So they usually just had, like, black text written on it saying, like, Halloween.
Yeah, because, like, the other thing is, I actually looked into this. The label, apparently, for Halloween is actually the same thing as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it just says Halloween on it.
Oh, that's some quality control right there. That is...
It's like, you know, okay, so, like, you know that label for Texas Chainsaw Massacre we did? Yeah? So, we have no idea what to do for Halloween. Should we just use the same thing? Fuck it.
Yeah, they're both about murdering people. Fuck it, just do it. No one's gonna care. It's the Atari.
And even to this day, we have no idea what's on those labels at all.
Oh my god, you're right. It's the exact same. I had to, like, double check. Yeah, what is on this?
I don't know.
It's like a picture of, like, spaceships and a wizard. Yeah, because it's wizard video games.
But there's, like, it doesn't really tell anything. It's like no. You see the name. It's like you're supposed to know what it is.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from this is that wizard video games, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So when I play this game, I'm going to be a wizard flying UFOs and explosions in the background. By the looks of it, I'm not going to be murdering teenagers.
But it somehow takes place in Texas.
I don't know. See, I always thought Texas was full of, like, wizards and UFOs and shit. I'm very uneducated.
And then speaking of Texas, go into Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the Atari. It's literally the same. It's almost pretty much the same thing as Halloween, except you're playing as Leatherface.
Yeah, Leatherface. Very, like, quotation marks around that. He looks like a fat kid. And his chainsaw looks honestly like a penis. Like, that's just what it looks like.
It kind of reminds me of Bomberman with a chainsaw.
That's basically, yeah, that's basically it.
And then, like, you're just pretty much going left to right, like, with a static background, like in a Tiger Electronic game, just, like, killing whoever comes up on the sides.
Yeah, and the game runs out when you lose fuel or something, I think.
Yeah, the game ends when you run out of fuel and you get kicked in the ass. Like,
well, to be fair, in the movies, he only killed, like, one person with a chainsaw. So, true. Leatherface is much more resourceful.
That is true, yeah.
We should write to...
Same thing with Michael Myers, though, because he killed his sister with a knife. He killed...
Not anymore. Not anymore. They retconned that. Oh, I know they did. No, don't worry.
Like, in the original.
Yes.
Like, he killed his sister with a knife. He killed that one dude with the knife. Yeah, I think he only used his knife, like, twice, actually. He grazed Lori, but that was it.
They're not very good at their jobs. Like, Leatherface is, like, I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's been around the bush before. But...
No, in Texas, the
Michael
tumbleweed.
Myers is... sorry. I forgot who the audience is here. But for Michael, it's just like, you've murdered your sister, and that's it. And then you went away for, like, 20 years or something. You're not really good at your job. You did something... I'm assuming murdering your sister isn't that hard. I'm just going to say it. I don't have a sister anymore. That was a really dark joke. I don't have a sister at all. I don't have a sister at all. But I'm assuming if I did, it wouldn't be too difficult.
Oh my god.
So Michael isn't really that impressive to me, personally.
That's fair. Alright, so we jump from Atari to the 8-bit generation. So NES. That's literally the first thing that comes up. There's... weirdly enough, there's only 2 games I can think of with horror in it.
Now, I'm going to take a guess. One of them's Sweet Home.
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I have
There's
that
heaps.
too.
It's like there's that. There's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Fuck, I forgot that too.
Jesus. Because if you Google so if you Google NES horror games, there's actually quite a few. And Clock Tower.
That's Super Nintendo.
No, Clock Tower SNES. Yes, I actually have that. I got a repro of that.
Same. It's so cool though. Let's see.
I haven't played. Yeah. And there's a horror game called Uninvited.
Uninvited. I never heard of that.
Which is a point-and-click adventure game.
Huh. Oh wait, there's also this top 10 list I'm seeing of like 10 spookiest horror games on the NES. I'm actually curious on this. Let's see, Maniac Mansion, that actually counts?
I like how I say horror is if it's got some little, if it's flirting with it a bit, if it's taking it out for a drink and stuff, I think it's a horror game still. It doesn't have to be like, ooh, scary. I mean, if it's on the NES, it's not scary, but...
I mean, Sweet Home is kind of scary, I'm gonna be honest.
I have never played Sweet Home.
It's definitely a game that, like, you need to take time with, It's a game that you need to, like, take a bit to, like, learn the ins and outs of the game, and then you get used to it.
Okay, because I've been wanting to play for ages, just because I've never really played many NES games that are horror, so I really want to kind of go into that. But as well, I'm shit at downloading stuff on my computer, so every time I try to fucking download it, it's like, oh, this file's missing. I'm like, I don't even know what that file is, so delete, just move on.
But there's also Castlevania as well.
Ah, yes. Are we going to include Castlevania?
We can, actually, because it's pretty much that aesthetic. It is in heart horror. Okay, well,
Castlevania exists.
Three of them nonetheless. Yes. And then of course Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Which, weirdly enough, Nightmare on Elm Street isn't as bad.
From what I've seen, it looks playable.
It's very playable. It is very playable. It's a lot of fun with like 3 more people. Play it with 4 people, you're good. It's actually a pretty fun game.
Because I've heard Friday the 13th is absolutely terrible.
It's dog shit. I'll tell you that right now.
I can't wait to play it.
Friday the 13th is absolute dog shit compared.
Because all I know from it really is like the AVGN episode. And that costume that he has, I used it when I played Friday the 13th on PS4. And that's my knowledge of that whole entire game.
Like, that retro costume, the purple suit and the blue mask is fucking brilliant in seeing it.
I know, it's so cool.
Like,
there's even dolls you can get of it too.
Like, yeah, there is. And like, NECA actually released a mask of that one.
God, I don't know why they're going balls in on this terrible game, but it's I appreciate it. I appreciate like just like we know it's crap, but you guys like it.
Like, I think it's just kind of like, yeah, we know this is really bad, but you know what? Let's have some fun with it,
Kind of want to play it now.
I'd say if you wanna experience it, then go for it. It's just you're not gonna have a good time with that game.
It's like most of the things in my life, so it's all good. All good.
And what else was there? There was a couple other games. There was Bram Stoker's Dracula on there, which I never actually played.
Oh wow, there is 2. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, there were when Bram Stoker's Dracula was being released, they made plenty of games. So there was one on NES. Oh fuck, I almost hit my mic. There's NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Sega CD. I believe that's all of them. Those are the ones I can think of at the top of my head right now.
This is blowing my mind right now. I didn't know there was a fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula game.
Yeah.
Why isn't there more tie-in horror games? Like, that's a whole thing I have. They should make more. Fuck Iron Man and shit. Do more Dracula and stuff.
And there was also Mary Shelley's Frankenstein too. That one got one.
Mary Shelley's Frank. Are you kidding me?
No, it's an actual one.
That doesn't feel like a game. Like, even though I just said make horror games based off movies. That movie's kind of like real depressing.
I never actually watched that one, so I can't really say anything.
Well, the movie, I guess, I don't know, like if it's based off the book, but I'm pretty sure like Frankenstein's like a pretty intense, like sad story. And from what I'm seeing in the screenshot, he has a machete fighting gargoyles.
Like, Frankenstein in itself is more so like a romance in a way. Like
a necrophilic romance.
Kind of, yeah. It's like literally the story of Frankenstein is about the man creating a monster who wanted to play God. That's literally Frankenstein. Well, wait,
you're not playing as Frankenstein in this. You're playing as a swordsman.
Oh, you're talking about the NES one.
Yo, yeah, talking about the game at the moment.
Yeah, that one's completely different. You're trying to stop You're trying to stop the monster because he kidnapped someone, I think.
I thought you were playing as Frankenstein, so that's why I was a bit confused. I was like, why?
No, in literally Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, that's the actual name of the game. You actually play as the monster.
Because there's Frankenstein the Monster Returns as well.
Yeah. That one's the NES game.
I didn't know there was so many goddamn Frankenstein games.
It's weird, isn't it?
There should be more.
Like, but there is one on the Atari, actually.
I didn't know that.
It's like pretty much like what you're trying to do in that one is like you're like building this barricade so that the monster doesn't get released.
Holy shit. Why is Frankenstein so huge? I've got a picture of it and he's like massive.
Yeah, he's big in that.
He takes up more than half the screen. Jesus Christ.
Alright, so but like Castlevania goes without saying, that's a classic NES game, hands down.
I was gonna say that I don't like Castlevania.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah, hot takes.
Like any
have I given him a chance? No.
Like any particular reason why?
Not my kind of game. I don't like those. Like I've only played like the first one.
Okay.
On a 3DS, and then I played like 5 minutes of Symphony of the Night. And I was like, oh, not really enjoy it. But I enjoyed, like, Metroid? So I guess I should go back, because it's the same, like, basically the same thing, right?
Kind of, yeah, because, like, any game that's kind of, that plays like Symphony of the Night or Metroid is considered what's called Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So, like...
yeah.
I feel like if you were to, like, be in the right mood to play Symphony of the Night, I'd say go for it again.
Yeah, I think that's the one I want to play the most. I think the older ones, not really.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not really a big fan of that whole side-scrolling, just hit stuff until you win.
But weirdly enough, there's also Metroid as well, which in its core can be horror.
Yeah, because it's, like, inspired by, like, Alien...
Yeah, like...
Pretty sure there's, like, some The Thing shit going on there, but I'm not too sure.
Like, literally, it's just, like, you're alone, you're in space, you gotta fight all these aliens, and it's, like, it's... If you were to put yourself in that kind of, like, situation, in that setting, yeah, it's gonna be terrifying.
It's basically, like, you just described Dead Space as well. Like, it's the same thing. You're alone in, like, some spooky setting in space. So I guess you're right. Yeah, Metroid is very much like a horror game, just not... Yeah.
Like, it's not classified under horror, but it has those elements.
I should probably play it too.
So, we jump from 8-bit to 16-bit. SNES Genesis.
What do we got?
We got Clock Tower.
Woo! I know that one!
That was actually one of the first reproduction cartridges I ever got.
That is the only reproduction cartridge I've got.
Like,
and I love it.
I also remember purchasing the Super Nintendo mouse, and it came with the mouse pad, and I actually tried playing that game with it. It feels weird, man.
Yeah, I don't. I look at that mouse and I'm like, I don't see responsive. I just see,
like, especially because like it's an old-fashioned mouse. It comes with a trackball.
Oh, that's cool though. That's kind of cool.
Like, Clock Tower is kind of a weird one to like play, but another one right here is like Zombies Ate My Neighbors in a way.
Well, yeah, zombies
But like,
eating people. That's horrific. But it's a bit more lighthearted.
It's a very lighthearted horror. Yeah, because like you're armed with a squirt gun fighting zombies.
Yeah, sounds cool.
It's kind of like horror. It's kind of like, what more do you need?
Yeah, like Shaun of the Dead would have been improved if you just threw squirt guns in it. Like,
like I played Zombies Ate My Neighbors once, and I was over my grandmother's house, and they had a Super Nintendo with Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now they don't have it anymore, and I'm upset because Zombies Ate My Neighbors is fucking expensive.
Yeah, I love when you have those moments like, oh, my family had that. I'll see if I can go snag it for just for free, and then they don't have it anymore. And he's like, fuck, I hate family. Like, they couldn't just keep it.
Well, there's also Ghouls and Ghosts as well.
I've played a little bit of that on the Genesis, I think. Is that on the Genesis too?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I played that. Yeah, that is a hard game.
Very hard, but it's still a fun game nonetheless. Only problem is that you gotta go through it twice to beat it, like the NES version.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about the bullshit that game decides to pull.
It's just like it emulates an arcade because it was originally an arcade game, and it's like, you know what? Fuck it. People are going through it twice. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, like as if, like, how cruel do you have to be? Like, they've designed this game. They know how hard it is.
Yep.
And it's like, fuck the fans.
Like, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is actually a lot of fun. It's a very fun game. It took me a while to realize that I could double jump in that game.
I feel like that's a technique you need to know from the start. It feels like so. That sucks. You didn't figure that out.
I kind of had to learn that, like, myself. It's like, oh, I could double jump.
Oh, I gotta love retro games. They just don't teach you shit.
And Super Castlevania 4, which is a remake actually of the first game.
Ah, is it?
Yeah, but it's
okay.
It's one of the best Super Nintendo games ever made.
Because you were setting that up as if it's gonna be shit. You're like, it's just but it's apparently really good. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it takes what the first game did, but makes it 10 times better. It is amazing. Like, I would say you have to play that at least once.
Damn it. I hate responsibilities. Add it to the list of shit.
And let's see. On the Genesis, we got Splatterhouse.
Yes, heard of Splatterhouse. Seen clips. It's violent. It's horror.
Like, if you have the PS3 360 version of the remake of Splatterhouse, it comes with the original arcade versions of 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I would say just get that because of those 3 being there.
Yeah.
But
because that game's like I've seen that game like floating around some secondhand stores, and it's still like, at least on my end, it's pretty expensive.
It is.
Splatterhouse.
It's actually pretty expensive, and I hate it because I love Splatterhouse and I want to own those. Like if not all, at least one of them.
I've never played it. I know a bit about it, but yeah, this kind of looks ridiculous. Like, I kind of want to play it.
Like, it's a very ridiculous horror game, but it's great. It's a great, like, 2D platformer, and full of horror, full of blood.
Well, with a name like Splatterhouse, you'd want to hope so.
And then, like, in the remake of Splatterhouse, they got Jim Cummings, I believe, to be the mask, like, to be the mask's voice.
So the mask is a different person or a different thing.
Yeah, it's a completely different entity.
God, I should have done some research before jumping on this.
Hey, that's why I'm here, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Like,
it looks very like he looks like a mixture between Jason Voorhees and Leatherface with the whole chainsaw thing.
No, actually, we're funny enough you say that. There's actually another enemy in Splatterhouse that actually tries to fight you with chainsaws.
So you have like a chainsaw duel?
You can, yeah.
See, Resident Evil 7 thought it was so fucking far ahead. Yet here's Splatterhouse.
Like, if you can ever find the chance to play Splatterhouse, just play it. It's great. It's hard as balls, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'll take your recommendation, because I know there is one pre-owned copy of the PS3 version.
Okay,
sitting in a game store. I've been eyeing off for months.
Good. And Castlevania Bloodlines as well. That's also another one.
So wasn't that like a? So was that originally on the Genesis?
Yeah, it was exclusive for the Genesis.
That's it. Yeah. And then they ported it over to other places, didn't they? Eventually.
No, actually, no. It was strictly Genesis.
I shouldn't talk about Castlevania like I know anything. I'll just let you cover that part. I've watched the Netflix show, the first season. That's my knowledge.
I still gotta watch season 2.
Yeah, same. I like that show. I like the story of Castlevania. I just hate everything else. And that's my problem with it.
I feel like if you were to jump back into Castlevania, I think you would find some appreciation for it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's on 3DS, isn't it? You can get the Symphony of the Night on 3DS, can't you?
Not 3DS.
The new 3DS?
No, I don't think it's there.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Nintendo.
It wasn't on a Nintendo platform. Symphony of the Night was released on PlayStation.
PlayStation. It's on PlayStation 3. I can get on that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. There we go. Done. Sorted.
Or if you have a PS4, you could get the collection.
Is that any good?
From what I've heard, yeah. It comes with the PSP version of Dracula X and Symphony of the Night.
Okay, that probably sounds like the version to get then.
Yeah, it's there. I feel like that might be worth it a bit more.
Okay, cool. All right, I might have a Castlevania binge at some point. If I hate it, I'm going to tweet at you.
It's like you made me
my fucking money back.
You made me pay money for this, you shit.
Just be warned, if you get blasted from me anytime soon, it's because I bought Castlevania and didn't like it.
Alright, so let's jump another generation. The PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast era.
My favorite.
So let's start with...
being nostalgia and biased either. It's just damn good.
That's fine. Let's start with PlayStation.
Alright.
Resident Evil.
We had Resident Evil. Yep.
We got Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. And if you want to count
Survivor. Just got into these games, and I should have got into them a long time ago because they're fucking awesome. I've only just, probably last month, actually finished 2 and 3 for the first time.
Oh wow!
And yeah, because I was really anti Resident Evil. I just didn't like the. I'm anti a lot of shit. I just wasn't really into the item management, the limited saves, all that kind of stuff. I just always thought oh, I suck at games, I'm gonna suck at this. So I just didn't really enjoy that part of it. But then I actually sat down and played it, and it's kind of it's gonna be really bad to say this, but it's kind of like Dark Souls. And I know that's a fucking meme at this point, but what I mean is you play it for a bit, and then you get to that point where it clicks, and you know what to do.
Yeah.
You might not know what's coming up, but you know how to play the game properly. And I think I never got to that point originally, so now I love these games. I reckon they're amazing. I think the original Resi 2 is better than the remake.
Ooh. Ooh.
So, yeah, and that's not and that's not nostalgia, because I don't have any for it.
I haven't played Resident Evil until 4, until that was released on the Wii. But
yeah.
But ever since then, I wanted to play the other games, and I'm glad I did, because I have nearly every PlayStation game of Resident Evil on the PS1. I'm only missing Survivor, actually.
Yeah, I'm missing Survivor and 3, I think.
I was the first one I got was actually 3 for the PlayStation. Because that also came with a demo disc of Dino Crisis.
Oh wow! Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you could play as Regina in 3. You could get a costume.
Oh wait, you can?
Yeah. I think there's you have to do some bullshit, but you can play as Regina from Dino Crisis in 3.
That's actually really cool.
There's a little fun fact for you. See, I know something for once.
Let's see. Well, let's go to Dino Crisis.
Never played them.
I have it digitally on my PS3, and from what I played, it feels a little more than just Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of a bit of footage about it, a couple of reviews and stuff, and yeah, it looks a lot more. I don't know how to describe it. A bit more intense with the enemies.
Yeah, it's still horror, but it definitely goes for more action.
And then the sequel apparently is one of the best action games on the PS1.
Yeah, I heard that too, and that's I want to get Dino Crisis. I want to play these games.
Because I know they're available on the PS3, or you can download them legally on your PC, which I did.
I'm glad I have Dino Crisis, although I don't remember purchasing it.
That's good. I like when just shit appears in your house.
I know, right? Let's see.
You got Parasite Eve as well.
Parasite Eve, I absolutely love Parasite Eve.
I've been meaning to check it out.
It's so good. It's such a great action horror game. The creature designs are cool.
Terrible, isn't it?
The second game is good.
Yeah.
It's the third game that's terrible.
Ah, okay. The Third Birthday, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's the one we don't talk about.
Where she takes damage and her clothes come off.
Yep.
I don't see what's wrong with it. It sounds so great.
Parasite Eve was definitely one of those games that I saw on YouTube, and I'm I want to try this. I want to play this game because this honestly looks badass.
The only thing that confuses me is when the combat kicks in, because I've never played it, and then all of a sudden this fucking web of shit comes up, or these. That's your field of action. So pretty much that's your radius of how far you can attack. Oh, okay.
The game explains it actually pretty well when you're playing it. So I would say if you find a copy of Parasite Eve, just get it. Just get it. Make sure sure both discs are there.
I love that I said this is my favorite generation so far. I've just played Resident Evil. I'm just getting into it. I'm finally going through the backlog.
There's also Medieval, actually.
I have Medieval. Now, that looks fun.
I want to get the remake because I've seen the original, and the original does still hold up.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the setting. It's very Tim Burton-esque. It works so well. I love Medieval a lot.
That's probably why, because I grew up on Tim Burton. Yeah. So I've always really loved that aesthetic. When I saw that game, I was like, damn, I want to play this. It looks so dumb and fun and just silly.
And the character Sir Daniel that you play as is just an awesome character to play with.
Even his design looks sick.
Oh yeah,
this one-eyed skeleton dude.
And you know what happens with him, right?
No. What happens with him?
Okay, so in the beginning of Medieval, he's leading his army.
Yeah.
And there's rains of arrows coming down, and literally the first one to die is Sir Daniel.
So he's not even a badass. He's just.
It was just
the first to die.
It was just unfortunate circumstances.
Okay.
And
that sounds cool.
And the reason he has one eye is because he got shot in the eye.
Ah, see, it's all coming together.
But he was still a hero, and he's still a hero.
See, I like that. It's not just he was a badass and then something happened. He fucked up and died, and now it's he's a bit of a quirky. But buffoon, would you say?
I wouldn't say buffoon. I would say more so quirky, determined knight, because he's still he's not really a buffoon because he's intelligible. He just can't speak.
Yeah.
But he knows what to do. He knows his objective is to save his land.
Okay.
Let's see. There's also Jersey Devil, actually, if you want to count that.
I remember that case. Cover of it. That's all I know.
Weirdly enough, the same developers of Jersey Devil is actually the same developers of Dead by Daylight.
Really?
Yeah.
They should do like a... Why isn't there like a Jersey Devil? I don't know the enemy in that game. That should be in Dead by Daylight.
I don't think that I don't think that'd work in this case because in Jersey Devil, the Jersey Devil is a hero.
Ah. We'll make him a survivor then. There you go. Problem solved.
I don't think that'd work, but like,
if Ash can be a survivor, anyone can be a survivor.
Like the Jersey Devil can hold his own. Like I'll tell you that.
Because like bit of a tangent. I think Friday the 13th, the video game, is so much better than Dead by Daylight.
I can see why you say that. I'm on both parts of that, whereas like I feel one does better than the other and vice versa.
Because I just don't like the whole... I feel like Dead by Daylight is too repetitive. While Friday the 13th was a bit more like flexible.
Yeah, it's like Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is definitely, I'd say, more casual compared to Dead by Daylight.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't say casual. Flexible. I felt like there was more stuff that you could do besides running around in circles, powering on a generator, and then running around in circles. But yeah, but I don't know. I still like Dead by Daylight. I just prefer Friday the 13th.
Now, there's one more series we gotta talk about on the PlayStation, and that's Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm. What? What's that? What's that shit?
I don't know. It's apparently a pachinko game Konami does.
Don't even talk about that. That doesn't... It hurts, but it just doesn't hurt anymore. PT like, still hurts.
PT is the one that stabbed my heart. That's what happened.
Because I can't even trust demos. Or like teasers or anything. I can't trust it. I can't trust anything Silent Hill until it's in my hands and I'm playing it. And it's been released. Like I've gone to the store and bought it. Because I can't even trust it. I can't trust it. But Silent Hill 1 is the first team Silent Hill game I played. On a PSP, a PS Vita. Oh, and wow. It still creeped me the fuck out. I love that game.
It's a classic survival horror game. Good. It's literally Konami's response to Silent Hill, developed by a group of people that Konami had no faith in. Yeah,
and like there's something like I've seen the argument that like the original Resident Evil has aged poorly. Like there's still parts about it that work, but it's aged poorly. I don't think it has. Like I played that before I played the Resi 2.
Yeah.
And I loved the first Resident Evil. I thought it was great. But there's something about Silent Hill that everything holds up in my opinion. Like, I don't want a remaster. I don't want any of that shit. I think the game as itself is just fucking amazing. And all the limitations and the graphical limitations, like, really add to that game.
Yeah.
And I think, like, out of all the Silent Hill games, I still think that one, and probably in terms of like technology, that one and 3 are the best looking on their platforms.
I can definitely agree with that. With Silent Hill 1, if you were to like do like a remaster of it, like yeah, we had Shattered Memories, but a full on like remake of the first game,
yeah,
I feel like would lose its charm. That the first game had on the PS1.
That's always like, when you look at that game, it's grimy, it's dirty, it's just like a filthy experience. And the fact that you can't make out stuff, like you're looking at shit and going, what the hell is that? That kind of adds to like the feeling of like, this is terrifying because you can't even see what half the stuff you're looking at is. It's like that kind of Lovecraftian thing where you just can't describe it. It's just kind of like shocking and horrific. And I think if you made that look prettier and made it HD, yeah, it'd definitely take away. I just want to port.
Yeah.
Let's throw it on the Switch.
Like, I adore the first Silent Hill game. It's amazing. Yeah. It's still scary to this day. Every character is memorable. All the creatures that are there are memorable. It's just an amazing game on the PS1.
And there's something like I don't find Silent Hill 2 or 3 scary in any way. But Silent Hill 1 still creeps me out.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of all the limitations, like graphically and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I love it. I want to replay it. I was actually going to last night, but then I didn't.
like I'm actually currently streaming Silent Hill on my Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And like,
are you doing that through PS3 or PC?
It's through the PS3 because I have it both physically and digitally downloaded on my PS3.
Ah, cool.
So it's like it just kind of works out. My digital version is probably, I guess, my backup, I guess.
Okay, so you have the PS3 that's like backwards compatible.
Yeah. It plays PS3 and PS1 games, but I already have it downloaded already, so it's like it just makes things easy.
Because yeah, you're streaming it at the moment.
Yeah. But it's just I mainly streamed Silent Hill 1 because it was the 21st anniversary. It's legally able to drink in the US.
Woo! Well, you've been able to drink here for a couple of years.
But I wanted to play that game because I wanted to celebrate Silent Hill. I wanted to celebrate the legacy that it held and how the first game still holds up. Holds up so well.
I could just say that. That's it. That's a review of Silent Hill. How is it? Fucking holds up. It's damn good.
Like, I know there's a fan project of someone remaking it with the PS1 graphics, but it's actually in first person.
Yeah, I think I know about that. I haven't actually had a look at it yet.
It looks cool, but like they're also like they also redid the voice acting for it, so it's like more modern, more serious compared.
Yeah, which is like the whole thing I love about like the Silent Hill games is the fact that it has like that David Lynchian dialogue where it's like weird and dreamlike and something's off about it. It's not like Resident Evil off where it's like terrible, but it's like, just off enough to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, like with Silent Hill 1 on the it's like it's still kind of cheesy, but not to the extent of Resident Evil. It's still in its core takes itself as a serious horror game.
Yeah, like it didn't become a meme overnight, and like still like 20 plus years it's still a meme. Like the voice acting of Silent Hill somehow got a pass because it wasn't as corny.
Like got the memorable voice acting of "Have you seen a little girl anywhere?"
Yeah, that's basically the whole game. What's the Silent Hill about? Have you seen a little girl anywhere? No? Alright, cool. Fucking Cheryl, I just leave her.
God damn.
Well, look, you're going to like I'm looking at this in a broader context. First off, I don't like kids, so whatever. Secondly, like if I know about Silent Hill, if Cheryl walks in there and I'm sitting here going like, I've got some traumatic shit in my past, or I know that anyone who enters Silent Hill, some weird shit tends to happen, I might just, avoid it. Take an L on this one and just go do something else. You can have another kid.
It's like, I'm sorry, Cheryl, you're on your own. I'm sorry.
Like he has like billions of sperm in his balls. Harry does. He's got chances for days. Just find a new wife. You sorted. It's easy. I think. I don't know. Ignore all this.
So let's go to the N64 real quick.
Okay, go for it.
There's not much on N64. We got Resi 2.
Yep. Which is just like a impressive as fuck thing to even exist.
Yeah, like both scenarios, one cart, and it works. Like
that's the big part. It works.
Like it just works.
It just works.
Let's see. This game was also on the PS1, but Nightmare Creatures.
So I haven't played. Is that like a action kind of game?
It's an action horror game set in the the Gothic Victorian era.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It's actually a really fun action game. Like
because there's like a list of horror games I want to play, and Nightmare Creatures has been on there for ages. I've just never gotten around to it.
I actually managed to pick up a copy of that game in college, and like I was glad I did because like I wanted to play that game for a while. And then, like, when I was able to pick up a copy, I finally did. I'm like, this game is fun. Like, this is.
Is it available like digitally, or is it only physically?
I believe you can get it digitally. I'm pretty sure, cause I can. Let me see. I could look this up.
Just go on.
Just go like Nightmare Creatures PSN. Oh, yep. It looks like you can.
Oh, well, I hope so over here. We have Australia's is a bit shit. it's so annoying. Like, I think Corpse Party is available on the 3DS, right, in the States.
Yes, I actually got that.
Not here.
Really?
No, I not here, and it's pissed me off so much.
And it's
because I've always wanted to play Corpse Party.
And it's region locked.
See?
I mean, like...
Fuck, I hate this country.
I mean, granted, there's also Steam.
Yeah. I don't know, I've never been a big, like, PC person.
You could definitely get the Corpse Party games on the PC.
Okay. I think I have one. I think I have the first one.
Yeah, it's just called Corpse Party.
Sounds fun. Especially if you're like antisocial and or like have a social anxiety. The fact that like you go to a party and everyone's already dead.
Wait, actually, you said you have a Vita, right?
I did have a Vita.
Damn, because it's on the PSN.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you think so?
No, it is. I have it downloaded.
Yeah. I know for you guys, yeah.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure for us, no.
Like if it's on there and like you just happen to get a Vita again, I'd say do it, because that's how I got, like, I watched the anime of Corpse Party first, and then I played the game.
It just seems like something like Australia has it out for Corpse Party by the sounds of it.
Let's see. There's also like there were 2 Nightmare Creature games on the PS1. I'm not sure if the second one's on the N64. I want to say it is, but I'm not too sure.
If only we had the internet, but don't worry about it. Other people can figure that out.
Oh wait, weirdly, well wait. So okay, so Nightmare Creatures 1 was released by Activision.
Yep.
Nightmare Creatures 2 though was released by Konami.
Oh wow, so that's why the franchise is dead.
And that was released on the PlayStation and the Dreamcast.
Oh god, you mentioned the Dreamcast, fucking Wild Potato Industries is going to pop out of nowhere. Be like, have you played the Dreamcast?
You know, which, speaking of the Dreamcast, that's on here too.
Oh. So yes, I kind of want to talk about the Dreamcast.
Okay.
Because it's got some weird shit on there, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got the Ring, actually.
I know. I so want to check that out.
I do too.
It looks so shit.
Like, it's out of morbid curiosity that I want to play that
100%.
game. Like, I want to try. I want to try the Ring, definitely.
Like a Ring game that has anything to do with the Ring. Sign me the fuck up. You're talking about the Ring being a computer thing now. Sick. Can't wait.
Let's see. There was House of the Dead.
Good. I think they're good.
House of the Dead is very fun. It's a very fun, goofy rail shooter.
Yes. So, no qualms. House of the Dead. You can keep on keeping on. I like you.
Also, Typing of the Dead. Can't forget that.
Yes, I would fucking suck at that game. And I write for a living, and I'm like, nah, don't even test me. I just fail it.
Oh wait,
because there was a couple others too. There's like Ill Bleed as well.
Yeah, Ill Bleed. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, like, never played it again. Because I never had a Dreamcast. I've never even seen one.
Like, I've only seen things of Ill Bleed, but I never actually played it.
I've heard it's very it's strange.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird game. It's a bit bullshit sometimes, but it looks absolutely fun.
There's also Wait, what were you saying?
Sorry, go.
Okay. But I went to go back onto the PlayStation. There was Clock Tower as well.
Yes, the supposed original Clock Tower, which wasn't the original Clock Tower.
No, it was a sequel to that. It was a sequel to the SNES one.
Yep. And then you had Clock Tower 2, which was Clock Tower 3.
Yeah.
And then you had Clock Tower 3, which is Clock Tower 4. But then they just said, "Fuck it, it's Clock Tower 3."
We don't talk about 2.
Yeah, I really want to. Again, it's another one of those morbid curiosity games I want to check out.
Yeah, I know. But
I remember watching what was it, Happy Video Game Nerd?
Yeah,
Back when his name was that, I think he did like a playthrough of it a little bit. It might have been when he changed his name, but like that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, because that game just looks complete bullshit. Like, it just looks like it's full of lies.
And there's also Resident Evil Code Veronica on the Dreamcast.
That's where it made its first appearance.
Yeah.
And it didn't have Wesker in it, I'm pretty sure.
No, it did. It did.
It did?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between X and this one?
X it has like more features with it, a bit of an enhanced graphics.
Oh, okay. So just like the standard shit.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, that's fine.
What other like horror games were there on the Dreamcast though?
There's a couple. So, Carrier is one.
What's that?
It's according to this website I found. It looks just like another fixed camera angle kind of survival horror game, but it's like set in on a space. U.S. Navy's largest aircraft carrier.
Oh.
It's set on that, and you're part of like a team called Spark because Resident Evil invented stars. Therefore, every survival horror game needed to have some fucking group of people.
We need some kind of acronym.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for, but I completely blanked on it for a while. You got D2.
Yep, I'm seeing it right here.
Yep.
Like, I heard of D, but I never actually heard of like the sequel D2.
So, from what I know about D2 is like it's a sequel in the sense that it has a number in front of it, but like in terms of like the story and shit, there's some things that are carried over, like characters, but apparently they're not really like the same characters, but they have the same names and they look the same. I'm not too 100% sure on it, but apparently it's a little bit like it's a sequel, but not like a direct, we're continuing the story of the first one.
Okay.
Seems like we're just making another game.
Like,
and there's also Blue Stinger as well.
Blue Stinger, I feel like I heard of. Like,
yeah, you're right. I've definitely heard of it.
Wasn't this game like not released in some part of the world?
I think Europe is the only one that got it, maybe. No. So no, it was in the US.
Okay.
It's published by Activision, actually.
Oh, that's weird. Well, in Japan,
but it says
Sega,
only Japan and
yeah, like in Japan, Sega published it, but in America and everywhere else, it was Activision.
Because I feel like there is one more Dreamcast horror game that I've heard about that isn't on this list that I found. That like looks really cool. It's like set on a boat. I'm pretty sure. It might be Blue Stinger.
I think
Carrier.
Yeah, it is Carrier. It's Carrier.
Yeah. Really want to play that.
From Jellico.
I've never even heard of Jellico.
Have you heard of Cool Borders?
Yes. Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
They released that. Jellico also released Maniac Mansion.
Oh, cool.
Wait, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did not.
Taking back that cool.
That's a take back. LucasArts did that one.
LucasArts did. Oh, that's right, they did too. Yeah.
Let's see. They did Tetris Plus on the PS1, which is still a really good Tetris game.
I think every Tetris game is basically a good Tetris game, besides that one EA released. Because how do you fuck up Tetris?
Like, how to fuck up a Tetris game if you were to have really bad set pieces?
I feel like set pieces shouldn't belong in Tetris.
It could depend, because like I would like if you look at say like Tetris Effect, for example.
Okay.
Tetris Effect.
I'm very knowledgeable in Tetris.
Like Tetris Effect is a beautiful game. It's so good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know this one. This is the fucking really sexy looking one.
Yeah, it's a really sexy looking one.
I kind of wanted to play that Tetris 99.
Oh, it's great.
But then to realize that 99 other people are better at Tetris than me, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I ain't got the brain capacity to move that fast.
Okay, how about we jump up to the next generation, the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era.
Okay, this is the one I have had the most experience with. I want to say that, and then probably come back and realize I haven't played hardly anything.
Okay. All right,
you've listed nothing but like really weird games I've never heard of.
All right, so let's start with PS2. Let's get that one going.
Okay.
Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4.
That's my response to that.
Just
damn good games there.
Just masterclass horror. Masterclass.
3 will always be my favorite.
I'm in between with 2 and 3.
I just something like I saw this great tweet today by a man named Avalanche Reviews.
Oh, I love him. I love Jared.
yeah, we were talking about Silent Hill 3, and he said something to me that was great. He said, "It's like comparing a diamond to a better diamond. Both are fucking amazing, but one is clearly the best, and it's the one with Heather in it." I'm like, done. Yep, and I just said those last two sentences you wrote are going on my tombstone. Because
fucking
that's straight up facts.
Fucking frame that tweet.
Yep.
Like,
that's straight facts.
Which speaking of, if you have not watched Avalanche Reviews, please watch him. He is a cool content creator. He does some really good shit. Does retrospective videos, and they're so cool.
Yeah, he's doing Silent Hill at the moment.
Yeah.
But he got famous off the Resident Evil one.
Yeah, like he finished. Yeah. He like the last one he did was with the first movie of Silent Hill.
Oh, I love that movie.
I don't know. I really don't know.
No, that's a fair answer. I will admit, just saying I don't know is fair.
I mean, as long as we're on the same page of the second one being complete dog shit, we're good.
Yeah, 100%. But
okay.
Silent Hill movie, the first one, at least had a heart.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. Like, the guy, Christoph Gans, cared. So that's enough for me.
And we're getting...
Like, it's not like fucking Paul Anderson, whatever his name is, making shithouse Resident Evil movies.
And we're getting a third Silent Hill movie.
Yeah, I don't believe it till I'm in the cinemas watching it. I don't even care there's a fucking trailer. I'm not trusting it. And
possible Fatal Frame.
Speaking of, look at that tangent. That was good.
Yeah, that was a good tangent. Fatal Frame.
On tangent segue. Shit.
Fatal Frame is a classic series. Like
Fatal Frame is a classic series I have never played.
Oh god, good luck getting them. Good fucking
luck.
Yeah,
I've got Project, because it's called Project Zero over here.
Yes.
In Europe and stuff. So I have Project Zero on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
But they're very expensive. I've been trying to like find a decent price copy of like the PS2 versions and stuff, and they're just overpriced.
I have nearly every Fatal Frame game. I'm just missing one on the Xbox, Project Zero 4 on the Wii, and 5. I'm missing Made in the Blackwater.
Because we did get a physical version of that.
Yeah, lucky bitches. Y'all got the physical version of that. Meanwhile, in the US, it's only digital. It's like, fuck everyone else.
Fuck off. Are you kidding me? Every time any cool physical release comes out, it's in the States. And in Australia, it's like, oh, by the way, it's digital and it costs the same.
I've wanted a physical release of Fatal Frame 5 for so long.
I can't wait, because I know I'm going to come across it one day, because they exist over here. So when it happens, I'll take a photo with it. And just send it to you and be like, I don't even fucking know what this game is anymore. Like, I never played this series, but guess what I got?
Like, Fatal Frame is just a classic horror game, hands down. Like, first one...
It looks like something I'd enjoy.
Like, the first one I got was 3. Then I got 1 as a gift, and I got 2 with a very good deal.
Yeah.
And then,
how much did you pay for it?
It was like $30 actually. $32.
God damn it.
But like Fatal Frame 3 wasn't as expensive yet, and then I got that for a really good deal. I think I got it for like less than 20.
Because again, like over here, everything is just like, even if you're lucky to find it, a lot of the secondhand stores will like look at eBay and shit.
Yeah.
And jack up the prices. But they look at eBay Australian costs, so they're like, oh, it's like $40 more than everywhere else. I guess that's the correct pricing. Like, god damn it.
But
this the whole idea of Fatal Frame really looks interesting.
Yeah, it's great.
Even though it has a bit of like an arcadey style combat system.
It does, but you do get used to it, and it's still pretty fun, to say the least.
Yeah.
But
like I don't know, like something that just ruins horror is the word combo popping up in the corner of the screen. But it still looks sick.
Now, with the PS2, there's plenty of expensive PS2 games.
It's like the holy grail of like games.
Like
this fucking console.
Like Haunting Ground, for example.
Spiritual successor to Clock Tower?
I think so, yeah.
It is, isn't it? Pretty sure it is.
No, that's Nightcry. Nightcry is definitely one, but
because I remember there being. It hasn't been confirmed, but I'm pretty sure Haunting Ground was like it's like a spiritual sequel to Clock Tower.
I believe so. I remember being told that, but like
yeah, it's
Haunting
been confirmed.
Haunting Ground is definitely one of the more expensive horror games.
Yeah,
and I hate it. I hate that it's that expensive because I want to play it, and I'm like, fuck.
Because I'm pretty sure over here. It isn't crazy expensive, but Rule of Rose is ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah,
like more so than over in the States. So it compensated.
The main reason because Rule of Rose was released by Atlas.
Yeah.
With Atlas, you know how that goes. Limited release, and it gets expensive fast. Fucking, I think like the highest I've seen was like $200.
Yeah, I think we got like 3, 4 or so over here. God, I hate Australia. Anyway, I keep saying that. Haunting Ground looks pretty like it's one of those like run away from the monster kind of games, but done in a way that looks interesting.
Like
it's surprising because a lot of those games look boring.
But like even then, it's like the set piece and the like the mechanic with the dog, works really well.
It has some real it's like a really intense story too.
A
lot of sexual assault shit being hinted at here.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've heard it's done in a way that isn't like bad.
Yeah, it's like
it's done well.
Yeah, it's in good taste, rather than just like shoehorning it.
Because Haunting Ground is one of those games that have been like I've been really wanting to play it, but it's just been so out of my reach because of, as you said, the pricing and stuff.
Well,
just release all these games digitally.
Let's see. There's also The Suffering.
I fucking love The Suffering.
Like, here's a bit of a thing with the PS2 and horror games. It kind of holds a very, very special place in my heart because when I was in elementary school, my dad was in a very big horror phase on the PS2.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like one of the first games I saw him play was Silent Hill 2. So like
that's a good exposure to it. That's good.
So like I feel like it just kind of resonates with me a bit more towards the PS2 and horror. So like I watched him play Silent Hill 2. I watched him play The Suffering and Manhunt.
It feels like this generation was like when horror really came out and was like, we're gonna take over this fucking platform.
It's like this is our era.
Yeah. But they also like every horror game, even though obviously you had the ones that tried to take the stuff that Resi kind of made, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, whatever Resi did to define the genre. It was a bit more risky. Like there seems to be more. They were taking more chances of horror in this generation as well.
Yeah.
Like you're getting like Rule of Rose, which is some weird shit to do with like aristocratic kids on a fucking blimp. Like you would never do that now.
It's just with Rule of Rose, the setting is definitely like a weird one, but in a way it knows how to work with it.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those games that I've never touched because the pricing's so ridiculous. But it looks weird, and I think that's what's really, I'm sure we'll get to it later, but that's what's kind of, I feel like it's missing from a lot of the current horror games.
Yeah.
Is that the weirdness is gone. It seems for
very I can definitely see what you mean on that.
Happening. Like, because you mentioned The Suffering, and that game's like this crazy fucking insane prison murdering everybody, heaps dark horror game.
Yeah.
And like it's so like I only recently, like I was gonna review it, but I fucking corrupted all my footage, so I just went nope. But that game is atmospheric as hell.
Yes.
Even though it came out like in 2004, that game is still creepy, and I think The Suffering's great.
And
sorry, it's just random.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But you also like did a review of Manhunt also.
I did. I didn't like it that much.
I definitely see where you are, where it's just like it's being violent for violence sake. And
I've seen the counter arguments to that, when people have said no, it's using violence as a part of the story and stuff. But I don't know. I just see it as a very bare bones excuse. It seems like they came up with the idea of, we're going to have executions. How can we get away with this? Oh, it's a snuff film. And I don't know, I just didn't think like the idea of it being violent and being a commentary on violence in video games and stuff was inherently part of the design from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, it's a fine game. I don't hate it. I just don't really enjoy it.
Like, I feel like the case of that is a lot more with, say, like Manhunt 2.
Yeah, I haven't touched that one yet, but I've heard that's just like, it just throws all that out the window. It's just like violence for violence sake.
Well, let's see.
You play as like a serial killer, don't you, or something?
Yeah, I believe so.
And like I think like this dude has like a split personality or some shit that like tells him to murder people. But you just murder innocent people as opposed to like Manhunt where you murdered like Nazis and pedophiles, and so it's somewhat justified, I guess. Because who likes Nazis and pedophiles? I mean, a lot of people like Nazis nowadays. But who likes pedophiles? No one.
Well, let's see.
Besides pedophiles.
Another like classic PS2 horror game is Siren.
Yes, Siren. One of the most convoluted horror games ever.
I agree with that, definitely. But I do see why a lot of people like it, because I want to play.
Oh yeah, it has so much going for it.
Like the concept of it is actually really cool because you're able to switch perspectives from your character to the ghost, and you can actually see if they're getting close to you or not. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's cool. The weird fucking technology they use for the faces and stuff, where they like just photoshopped a real person's face onto someone else's. That's so cool and creepy. The whole idea of this game is just cool. But it's just the execution of like what you have to do to actually progress.
Yeah.
That is bad. Like, it's not very clear what you have to do to get a certain thing to execute in like a different character's level.
Yeah.
I think that's the big problem. Like, you have to do something in one character's level to make another character be able to progress, because if you don't, you're stuck.
Yeah, I get you.
And I think that's a bit like, I want to play the game. I don't want to fuck around and realize I didn't put a bloody piece of paper here 2 hours ago, like I should have. I'm so sorry.
It's like, damn it, I was supposed to turn on the model train.
It gets that ridiculous. Like, it's shit like that. And but it looks fun. It does look cool. I just think maybe with the first one you need to play it with a guide so you know what bullshit you're going to have to experience.
Yeah.
Because I don't think playing with a guide's bad if the game isn't designed well enough to tell the player what's kind of going on.
Yeah, I definitely get you on that one.
But Siren 2 does fix a lot of those problems. So
that I heard. That much I heard about Siren 2.
Yeah. So there you go. And there is one game I do want to talk about that's kind of weird. Cold Fear.
Cold Fear, yeah. I heard about this
Cold
one.
Fear. I think it's good. It's good. It does shit that Resident Evil 4... Because people just say it's a Resi 4 clone. Because it came out roughly like not too like long after. It's like a third-person action horror game, stuff like that. But it does so much more stuff better that Resi 4 didn't do. That like I feel like it deserves a bit more praise than it gets.
Yeah.
Because like it only came out like a few months after, so it wasn't like enough time to go back and change absolutely everything and make sure it works. But like it has like movement and shooting, which is great. It has like this crazy like ship you explore, and you know it's like moving around and you have to like balance yourself, and like crap falls on the ship, you have to dodge and everything. It's good. It is good.
Like Cold Fear is definitely
Cold Fear
was definitely one of those games I wanted to try out.
Yeah, I recommend it. Like it's not hard, it's not long. God, we're talking about Cold Fear here. It honestly is good. The only thing I don't like about it is it expects you to be able to differentiate between one cold steel hallway and another cold steel hallway.
So like a lot of times it just looks the same.
Yeah, it would say go to this place, and you're like, where the fuck is this place? Because everything looks the same because it's on a boat. But yeah, like it is really cool, and it's like I think it's like dirt cheap. You can get it on Steam. I'm pretty sure there is a PC version, but even the PS2 version's like heaps cheap as well. I reckon.
I'm like looking at it. It's like the PS2 version is like a little up there. Like, it's the Xbox version that's actually cheaper.
Or whatever version you want to get. Or
Yeah.
you could buy it legally on PC using a variety of websites.
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a fuck about Cold Fear nowadays anyway? But yeah, I reckon check it out. It's pretty enjoyable for what it is.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Xbox, let's go to the Xbox real quick.
Okay.
Like, we got Fatal Frame 1 and 2. You know, we already got those. We discussed those already. Let me see, what other ones were there?
You had a lot of all those Evil Dead games got ported over to the Xbox as well.
Oh yeah, that's right, they did. But, like,
Fistful of Boomstick, what a classic.
Like, I never actually played any of the Evil Dead games.
They're kind of great, especially a Fistful of Boomstick. It's just I don't remember if it's top down, but it's like just like an action shooter. But it's Evil Dead, so it's great. Doesn't take itself seriously. It's a fun time.
Well, yeah, it's like if you got Evil Dead and it actually has like fucking Bruce Campbell, it's like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, that's it. It's just yeah, the game doesn't need to be good. It just needs to have Evil Dead and Bruce Campbell.
Like, in terms of horror games on the Xbox, I don't think there's much.
There isn't many in terms of like exclusives. There was a lot just ported over from the PS. Like, there's just a lot of like multi-platform releases, really.
Yeah.
Like anything like you saw on PS2 was on the Xbox.
I
basically.
mean, I guess except for like 2 games, there's Call of Cthulhu.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
Like that one,
Call of
Cthulhu is actually a game I really wanted to try.
Yeah, I've heard that it's really good for the first half, but then it turns into a shooter.
Yeah.
And it kind of yeah.
But
looks cool.
And there's also, weirdly enough, Doom 3.
Yeah, Doom 3 got ported over. It wasn't on PS2.
No, it was strictly Xbox.
No. That's weird.
Like, at the time, it was just strictly Xbox and, I believe, Microsoft Windows.
That makes... Okay, no, it's not so weird now. It makes sense.
Like, it's kind of weird, though, because, like, with Doom, you don't really expect horror. You just expect fast-paced action, shooting demons and shit. But with Doom 3,
yeah,
it's definitely slower paced.
Yeah, like I did a review on it because I never really played in any of the Doom games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And because I think I had an Nintendo 64 and an Xbox, so like that whole series just I avoided it. And yeah, like it is kind of spooky in some places, but I feel like it's caught in between wanting to be a horror game and be a Doom game, and it can't figure out which one it wants to be.
Yeah, I did see that review. I saw your review for that, and I do agree, because like it doesn't know what it wants to be. You know, like you got Doom 3, you know, well known for being fast-paced and action-oriented, but then you make it slower and you want it to be more horror.
And I think the only reason why they wanted it to be more horror is because what's his name? Who's the guy at id Software? The guy with the glasses? Carmack.
Oh, John Carmack.
John Carmack, yeah. I think he just he just created this cool lighting technology and was like, well, we're making a horror game now. Because, yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike it, but it is very much a game caught between two ideas.
Yeah, it's like
they can't seem to figure it out.
It's like, as you said, it has an identity crisis.
Yeah, but you know, it does have some spooky moments.
Yeah, like from everything that we've seen from Doom 3, it's a fun game, but in terms of like a Doom game, it's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a Doom game.
Exactly.
But you forgot one extremely important horror exclusive on the Xbox.
Which is?
Dino Crisis 3.
That is on there, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
holy shit! That's the only Dino Crisis game I've played.
Oh god! And it's set in.
Because my friend had
it. Wait, this is the one that's in space.
It's set in space. Yeah, it's the one that's in space.
Oh fuck! We had Jason in space. Now we got dinosaurs in space.
Yeah. So that's a game that exists.
Okay, so what's your thing with Dino Crisis 3?
I played it when I was a kid because my friend had it. and I've watched a couple of videos, and it looks terrible. It does. It looks broken a little bit too. Like those camera changes, and then it has platforming, but then like it would change the cameras as you're trying to jump onto like a platform, so you don't know where the fuck you're going. You just fall to your death.
Yeah.
Quality game design right there. Infinite spawning enemies. It's Dino Crisis in space. Like, it sounds cool, like dinosaurs in space, but yeah, it doesn't play good. And I don't know about you, I think that's kind of important for a video game to play somewhat good.
Yeah, that's very important.
It's just the bare minimum I ask for.
Alright, now there's one more console in this generation, and that's the GameCube.
I love the GameCube.
It's just, the GameCube's a great console. Only recently. Like, it's such a good console. I love it. There's great games on it.
Any console that has Super Mario Sunshine on it is the best console ever. I fucking love Super Mario Sunshine. Anyway.
But in terms of horror, there's not much. But there's a good list.
Well, it was like, that's when Capcom decided to try and do we're going to move Resident Evil over to the GameCube.
Yeah. So like,
that's where we first saw Resi 4.
Yeah, we got Resident Evil 4, we got Resident Evil 0, and 1 remake. But we also got ports of 2, 3, and Code Veronica.
And I heard those ports are probably the best way to play those games besides like, if we're talking about like Resi 2, the Source Next Japanese version on PC is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But I heard the GameCube versions of those games are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah. Like, I got exposed to Resident Evil because of Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube.
See, I got exposed to Resident Evil because of Resident Evil 5.
But now Resident Evil 4 is like Skyrim. It's practically on everything.
Yeah, and like and honestly, I don't have a problem with that.
It's just like, hey, more people get to play it.
Yeah, and it's just like Capcom reminding you occasionally that like, you should probably replay Resi 4, and you're like, yeah, I should. And then you do. On a new system, you just pay for it over and over and over again.
It's like, you should play Resident Evil 4 again, but I have you already. Yeah?
Yeah, but you haven't got it on the fridge. And you're like, I haven't got it on the fridge.
Buy me again.
Capcom.
Buy me again.
Yep, done.
But, let's see. This one's gonna be a little weird. Because technically it has elements of horror and it's Luigi's Mansion.
I know. No, that game's a horror game. I don't give a shit. It's got ghosts and it's in a spooky mansion.
I call it baby's first horror game. Because that's exactly what it is. It is a horror game. You play as Luigi, sucking up ghosts with your vacuum in a spooky mansion that you somehow won.
Cool. It sounds great. That's just the movie Haunting of, like, what's it? The House on Haunted Hill. That one where they go to the house and
it's on the
Haunted Hill. Stay overnight. Yeah, it just sounds like that, but swap it out with a Mario. Swap it out for Luigi. It's the same thing.
Like, Luigi's Mansion is so much fun. I absolutely love it, and it was definitely like a risk on Nintendo because it was a launch title.
Launch title. You're picking everyone's favorite second player too. So you got Luigi. Then you're making it a horror kind of game about sucking up ghosts. Like, yeah, that shit shouldn't work at all. And whoever thought of that idea is a fucking legend. Because, like, yeah, I couldn't imagine pitching that to Nintendo being like, this is what we want to make. Because it sounds so far away from what Mario is, but it works.
Yeah, extremely well. And like I said, it's a great game. If you have not played Luigi's Mansion, just play it. It's amazing. I
haven't played Luigi's Mansion, funnily enough.
Oh my, it's just a great game. Like, that's all you need.
I played Dark Moon, I think, for a little bit on my 3DS.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I think I stopped because I was like, I just want to play the original first.
Yeah, like at least that one's at least the first one got remade for the 3DS.
It did, and I think that's the way I'm gonna play it. Maybe.
It's like, hey, at least as long as you get to play it, you're good.
Yeah, it just looks like a fucking cool game. It is a cool game. I just know that for a fact.
Now,
I haven't touched it, but I know it's true.
And for the GameCube, there's one more horror game that everyone brings up, and it's Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, another game I haven't played.
I got that game at a very good price, and I'm glad I did.
I got given that game, and I opened the case, and it wasn't in there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. Damn.
Shout out to the friend that did that, though, if they're listening. I do appreciate the idea of just giving me this game. They didn't know. They had no idea it wasn't in there.
Like, Eternal Darkness is a fun game. Like, you could definitely tell the game was being made for the N64. But
because that's what it originally was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like it ended up being on the GameCube because the N64 was pretty much on its way out.
Yeah, much like Resi Zero and stuff.
Yeah.
Or besides, as well, Resi Zero was a bit more crazy.
But
yeah,
in the end though, Eternal Darkness ended up being a pretty cool Lovecraftian horror game.
Like, I have gone so long avoiding anything about that because I can't wait. Like, I really want to play it. But all I know is like the insanity stuff and how like the game like tricks you.
And that's the main problem with it, is that people always bring up the insanity mechanic, but not talk about the actual story of the game.
Yeah, because I've seen screenshots where you're playing as like a Roman soldier, and I'm like, is this the same game?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that sounds sick.
Like you play as a bunch of different characters in the game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I thought you might have been like possessing them or something. I don't know. See, I told you I know fucking nothing about this, and I wanted to stay that way until I play it.
Like when I heard about the game, I wanted to play it, but the thing that sucked is that like Eternal Darkness actually did cost a bit.
Yeah, that's why I was so happy that someone gave it to me, because I know how pricey it can be.
But then, like, when I went to a convention one day, someone was selling it, and I think the person had no idea what they had because they were only selling it for $24.
Oh, I love those people. They're my favorite people.
And then it's like, so you're selling Eternal Darkness for $24? Yep. I'm just, like, handing him the money.
Yeah, just opening your wallet as he's saying it. 24, yeah, cool, sick, man, here you go.
Because, like, there's no way in hell I'm getting it cheaper than that.
No, because I think if we go on the good old eBay, where prices are always right, I think for me, it's quite an expensive game. Like, it's actually getting, like, ridiculously expensive. Oh, no, actually. Shit, don't worry. Ignore what I said. $30.
That's not bad.
That's really fucking good.
Yeah, so it's like, if you can, I'd say get it so that you can actually experience it.
Then I say that, then I say like $100, $120. So yeah, it seems like this person's just thrown it up there and...
Unless it's on bid.
Yeah, it is on bid.
That explains. Yeah, that explains it.
It's about $100.
Oof.
But I might just buy the disc only and then just be like, fuck it, I have the whole version now.
I mean, I feel like at this point, as long as you get it, you should be good.
Dude, it's like $66 for the disc.
Yeah.
Collectors, just listen. Stop it. Stop selling games for fucking $100 and something. Stop being dicks. Just be nice.
Like, Eternal Darkness is just one of those games I do not want to get rid of because I've had a great time with it. I don't want to give that up.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
A problem I will say with Eternal Darkness is that, like, you can't really defend yourself against enemies.
Oh, okay. So there's like the combat's a bit sometimes.
Yeah, it's very but you do find ways around it, and it does end up working most of the time.
So yeah, is it like a combat heavy game, or is it
a bit?
Because if it is, I could see how that could become a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is a bit combat heavy.
Okay.
Thankfully, though, at least enemies don't respawn.
Oh, that's nice.
So you'll be fine there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely want to check it out. Just when I can get it cheap or complete.
Okay, we got 2 more generations left.
I honestly think the next generation is one of the worst, but it has some of the best games on it.
Alright, so the next one is PS3, Wii, 360.
So this is when horror decided to die for a bit.
Yeah.
When all the developers and publishers were like, horror isn't viable.
So let's start with the PS3. Gotta go back to Silent Hill.
So this is when shit started to get a bit
weird,
iffy.
Yeah.
Like, Homecoming has some cool ideas in it. That game still at least feels somewhat like a Silent Hill game. Like, if you saw screenshots of that game, you'd be like, that's a Silent Hill game. Like, it still has that, I guess, like it has... Even though it isn't very good, it's still just, I don't know, it feels like one.
But then it's like
when it's terrible.
Yeah, but then it's like when you actually like look into it, it's
it's
very, very combat heavy. And for me, for a Silent Hill game, I don't like that.
Especially like the excuse for the combat is kind of dumb. And I don't want to spoil it. Like, I don't want to go into spoilers about this case. No one's played it.
Yeah.
But like their excuse for the combat is hilarious in the context of the game.
And then we got like Silent Hill Downpour is.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like I was watching a streamer called NubZombie. He does like these long streams of like story breakdowns of the Silent Hill games.
Yeah,
they're fucking awesome. But he did one on like Downpour, and I was just watching it, and I just look at this game, and I don't see Silent Hill there. Like you could have told me that's some generic horror game on the PS3, and I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Like the identity of Silent Hill isn't there. And that's, I think that's my biggest problem with Downpour, and then all the other shit just kind of happens. Such as the story and the endings kind of ruining the story.
Yeah.
The combat, the fucking everything, really. Side quests. God damn it.
Side quests do not belong in a Silent Hill game.
No, like you can have a little, like, the Silent Hill games have always had, like, you know, like even from the first one where you could find Kaufman, and that would determine the ending you get. Because you'd find, like, him, and then you'd learn about, like, the drug that's going around and shit like that.
Yeah.
So there's always been, like, some semblance of there are side things to do, but not, like, straight-up side quests.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't fit as well. Especially when they've got nothing to do with anything. Like, all those side quests have nothing to do with what the fuck's going on. It's always like, there's a ghost here, put him to rest. I just watched the Twin Perfect video.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I don't like those dudes at all.
Yeah.
But I needed 2 hours to burn.
Oh, God.
So I was like, whatever, it's here.
And then the HD collection of 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm. The best way to play.
The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, it was doomed from the start.
Like,
there's no way that could have been good.
Like, if you want to know about the HD collection, just go to watch Matt McMuscle's video. Just watch that. He breaks it down very well, and it's a train wreck.
Like all they needed to do was do what the guys who I can't remember their names, but who did the ports for Shadow of the Colossus, Metal Gear Solid.
Bluepoint.
Yeah, Bluepoint. Because they already have a relationship with Konami. They should have just got them to do it, because then you just get, like... Because how they port games is very different to what they did for the HD collection, as that video explains. And that's where it all fucked up. Like, they just took the wrong version.
It was because Konami, quote-unquote, lost the source code for 2 and 3, and then just gave them unfinished builds of the game.
Yeah, because that was a general practice back then, because they thought they didn't need it ever, so they just got rid of it. And then, yeah, like all they needed to do was just, because apparently all Bluepoint does is get either the PC version or get the release version and just port it over, and then fix it up. Like,
or just like get like the finished games and just reverse engineer it.
Yeah, that's basically that's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because unlike, you know what the other team did, who did the HD collection, they got this version that was clearly a couple of steps back, unfinished, and it fucked them over.
Oh,
and we got some shitty ass support, and then we got fucking Troy Baker voicing James Sunderland.
Like the cast they got, I absolutely love the cast. They were poorly cast though.
Yeah, that game doesn't fit that kind of. That, and I know I've seen people like really slam the Silent Hill, like the PS3 versions, especially two though. Sorry, not PS3, PS2 versions. Their voice acting as like just straight up terrible. But then when you get like Troy Baker and stuff who are really good at their job do it, it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that. Yeah, and that could be nostalgia, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Because like the way it is with like the original versions of 2 with the voice acting is that it was meant to feel that way. It was meant for those awkward moments, awkward pauses, because that's what it was intended for. With like
that's what they wanted for that game.
But then like they get new people to do it because they wanted to. It's more so like it's unfitting.
Yeah. And the fact that you can't, like, at least they did for SH2, you could switch the voice actors. But for 3, you can't. It's stuck on the new one.
For some reason.
Yeah, and I remember watching a video about it, and like one of the voice actors, I don't know if it was for Heather, or if it was for, fuck, I can't believe I'm blanking. Maria, sorry.
Yeah.
Were like slamming the original voice actors. And I was like, nah, that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. Even Troy Baker joined in on it a little bit. It's like, don't be a dick.
But we got what we got, unfortunately.
Yep, so it is the best way to play it.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and let's look at Dead Space.
Dead Space is the game that got me into horror.
Oh wow.
Yep, I was late to the bandwagon of like horror games. I was big into horror movies, but I never really played horror games, and Dead Space was the one that really I fucking love. And Dead Space 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh wow.
Love it. Dead Space 3 is not very good. Want to hear a funny story?
Okay.
Just a quick... Okay, so I stopped pre-ordering games because I pre-ordered Dead Space 3 and Aliens Colonial Marines, got them on the same day, played them both, and hated both of them. And from that day, I was like, I'm never pre-ordering games again because I got hit with a fucking double whammy of shit.
Oh, man. Like...
But Dead Space is great.
Yeah, it's a great series. Shame on EA for fucking killing it.
Yeah. Like that game took what Resident Evil 4 established and then just like pushed it even further forward. In the horror genre at least.
Like, I got exposed to Dead Space after playing the demo on the PS3. I played the demo of it and I'm like, this is really good.
It's so good. The sound design is amazing.
Like the
combat is so well done. Like you feel you are empowered,
and
you still feel like you're gonna get fucked over.
And even the creatures, like the fucking necromorphs, are fucking insane. Like they're so
cool.
They're just stretched flesh and it's disgusting and visceral. But god damn it, it's so cool.
And then like you just can't. And then that's when the combat comes to like you can't just kill them normally. You have to dismemberment, and it's like that is so sick. He's so fucking cool. That whole series, like, even 3 has its merits, but like that is just a fucking great series.
Yeah.
And yeah, shame on EA for killing it. Like, just port them across. God, I'm getting hyped up now. I want to play Dead Space. And they even had that weird Wii game too. Dead Space Extraction,
which I have. The game is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play it. It's like that one and I played a little bit of that iOS game that actually ties into the game directly.
Oh, wow.
Ties into Dead Space 2 directly. It's like a little puzzle game. Because you play as the guy who gets fucked up at the start of Dead Space 2 when you're like in the... Yeah, so they're the only 2 I haven't really played too much of.
Gotcha. Another game that's pretty synonymous with the PS3 is The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm. It is, yep. God, what is it to say about The Last of Us? It's good.
It's just a great game. If you haven't played it, please play it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a horror game, but the story is so fucking rich.
I did make a controversial point on my Days Gone video where I said I think the story of Days Gone is better than Last of Us.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people had a problem with that, but some people agreed, so that's nice of them. To make me not feel like a complete fucking outcast.
Like, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. I haven't played it yet. I haven't played Days Gone.
It's good. It's just, I want to talk about it when we get to the current gen.
Okay.
I want to really go into it.
Well, but in the meantime,
Last of Us is still great.
Yes, just play it. Play it if you haven't.
Yeah, yeah. It was really like it took the world by storm when it came out.
Big time.
Like people still talk about it today. That's why everyone's so hyped for like The Last of Us Part 2.
Like just right into the beginning of the game, it hooks you.
Yeah.
By fucking ripping your heart out.
Yeah. Such a good intro. And then everything just builds off of that slowly. I even love, like, and I know people have problems with the ending, but I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's a very good ending. Like, I thought the ending worked for it.
Yeah. It does have like its. I think in hindsight, once you look at that, like the hype dies down. It is a very generic game, gameplay wise. It doesn't do anything extraordinarily unique. But I think it's because everything's done so well. It's like, and the story is so good, and the world's so interesting. Like, you kind of forget about that, and you just get enveloped in the experience.
Yeah.
Because it is just a standard third-person cover shooter, basically.
But it's that story. It's the story that keeps going.
It's those characters, that world, that just makes you go, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It feels like every fight you get into, it has a purpose. You know, you're trying to keep Ellie alive.
Yeah.
So even though I think the combat's a bit, you know, nothing great, I still get really into it because you're like, I gotta keep this. I gotta do this for Ellie. I gotta do it for her.
But let's see. There's also Resident Evils 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. 6 is one of the best action games ever.
6 is just bleh.
Oh, don't talk shit about 6.
Like,
6 is great.
Like the best campaign in 6 is Leon's, hands down.
But are you looking at it as like a horror game, as a Resident Evil game?
As a Resident Evil game.
That's your problem. I know it says Resident Evil 6 on the case, and you should look at it like that. But just ignore that. Ignore the Resident Evil part. It is one of the fucking coolest action games out there. The movement is fucking ridiculous. The combat is awesome. It's bombastic as hell.
Yeah.
Like, that game is ridiculous. I think it got a lot of hate because it's a Resident Evil game. And I think that's fair. 100%. But, like, once you take that away, that game is just so fun. It's just fun. And play it with a friend, too, because, like, oh.
I still think the worst story, though, from 6 is definitely Chris's.
Chris's is the most bombastic one.
Yeah, because
probably, yeah.
It is literally Gears of War with Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I'm fine with that. See, I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the defending camp of Resi 6. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Honestly, the only thing that's holding it back is that it's a Resident Evil game.
I get you.
Because that's what everyone judged it on. Like, if you called that tough dudes shooting shit, I think everyone would have loved it. Everyone loves Vanquish.
Vanquish, I've not actually like heard of.
Well, if you put Resi 6 in like the Devil May Cry, Bayonetta stuff, like that kind of camp, I think you'll find a much more greater appreciation for it.
Oh wait! Isn't that getting like released with like a remaster of Bayonetta 1?
Vanquish, yes.
Okay, I have heard of it. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like, I think it is by Platinum Games.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. Well, there's 2 other games I want to bring up specifically.
Okay.
Saw 1 and 2.
Never played them.
Good.
I've seen a lot about it though. I've seen they're fucking awful.
Don't play it. Don't play it. Don't play any of them. They're dog shit. They are dog shit horror games. They're bad license games. Fucking Konami had them.
You know that YouTube, the economy works on terrible shit being bagged out, so I'm gonna play them. I want to play them. I want to review them.
Do as you will. Just, I'm telling you, you're not gonna have a good experience. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the worst experience possible. I don't want to have a good time.
Okay, let's switch it over to 360 real quick.
Yep.
So, Condemned as one.
Yep, Condemned's good. Condemned is the first one's good, I reckon.
I haven't actually played Condemned, although I want to.
I played 1 and 2 as they came out, I think. Maybe not 1. I think I played 2 when it came out. But they're both great. Like, really atmospheric, brutal games.
Yeah.
That kind of like the sequel went a bit weird. It started getting like weird, like it wasn't grounded in any sort of like reality anymore.
Yeah.
Like the first one was in some sense, but it's just like you're a detective trying to hunt down this killer in a town full of like that's like really shit and like crime's rampant. And it is a really fun game, and the melee combat's really good too. For like surprisingly for a fucking 360 game with melee combat actually works. So I reckon, yeah, if you haven't played it, check it out. It's really a fun time.
Like
it holds up really well.
Yeah, it's definitely a game I really want to play. Let's see, what else was there for the 360? I mean, there was also Alan Wake actually. Yeah,
Alan Wake. I like that game when it
I still haven't played it. I want to.
It's cool. It's cool if you like flashlights dealing damage to monsters, because that's like the whole combat of that game.
We talk about Blair Witch,
but fucking don't even get me started on Blair Witch.
I was looking forward to Blair Witch.
Fuck, you have no idea how much I love the whole story of the Blair Witch films. Anyway. I've been working on a review of that game for so long and haven't finished it because I'm just so angry about writing about this fucking game. But anyway, Alan Wake is really fun. It's like has that Stephen King Twin Peaks kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. If you like either of those things, if you like Stephen King or Twin Peaks or any like David Lynch stuff, like Alan Wake, I think you'd really have a fun time with. The combat isn't anything to write home about. Like the gameplay side of the game isn't the best, but just like the story and the world and stuff is just like ripped right out of those, like as I said, Twin Peaks and Stephen King novels, which I think is good enough.
In a weird way, there's also the first BioShock.
Yeah, I see that as it's on a lot of like top 10 best horror games lists.
Yeah.
And I can see why some people would say that. It has got horror. Like, it clearly does have some horror influences.
Yeah, definitely.
And that game is... I replayed it, like, last year, I think, on the PS4. Fuck, that game is good. I'm not a big fan of BioShock Infinite, and I haven't really played too much of the sequel, BioShock 2, but I think that game's pretty good, still.
Yeah.
And the twist is... Still to this day, fucking amazing.
There's also Fear.
Fear was one of the first horror games again I ever played.
I think Fear 2 went more horror than the first one because the first one was definitely much more action based.
Now, see, I think Fear 2 went for more of a roller coaster, like horror, like a horror mansion kind of vibe where you were led onto something and spooky shit happened and then you moved on to the next. Well, I feel like Fear 1 had the atmosphere to always make you feel like something was there.
Yeah.
So when the Alma shit did pop up, it was a bit more surprising. Like, it didn't feel like even though there was a lot of moments in that game where like, you were led to a scare, I think the overall atmosphere of that title meant that any time she popped up, it did feel a little bit unexpected, and you always feel like she was nearby.
Yeah.
But the combat of that game is where it like really shines.
And I guess another one I would say is both Left 4 Dead games.
Yep. They're intense. They're intense as fuck.
Especially because of the director mechanic that they have.
Yeah.
Like the director mechanic
mixes it up.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Like I found that awesome when they implemented that. And I'm like, holy shit, I never knew that.
If we're gonna talk about like PS3 and Xbox and stuff, I think you gotta mention Deadly Premonition.
I want to play that. I want to play Deadly Premonition so much.
I've got a copy of it. I've left it unplayed because I do plan on doing something about it at some point. But I think that's one of those like so bad it's good games. Yeah. Like it goes across that line.
Like it's definitely intentional because it takes a lot of inspiration from Twin Peaks.
Yes, 100%. So you're gonna get that weird shit.
Yeah.
happening.
But like I want to play it so much just because of how ridiculous it can be from what I heard, and I'm just like, I need this game.
Yeah. Well, it looks so weird. I've played probably about like 40 minutes of it, And it's bad. Like, it takes a while to get used to what this game is. But from what I've heard from a lot of people, once you do, that's when you really get to experience like something that's actually special.
Yeah.
And there's only one more thing I want to mention, and that's Aliens Colonial Marines. That game hurt me.
We don't know.
Hurt me a lot. That's all I want to say. It just hurt. Fuck you, Randy.
Okay. One more console from this generation, and that is the Wii.
Surprisingly, tried to do some interesting shit.
Yeah, actually, like we got calling, for example, on the Wii.
Which you could like use the Wii remote as a phone.
Yeah, exactly. I got that game because I wanted to try it for a while, and then when I got it, the thing is about it is that exploration sucks because there's nothing to do other than walking around.
It's like sounds like every modern horror game.
Like, it's literally a walking simulator. It's like, it sucks.
So like the only thing kind of going for it is the gimmick of the phone.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
You also had the Grudge game.
Yeah, the haunted house simulator, as it's called.
Mm-hmm. And over here in Australia, we don't have like the Grudge cover. We have a woman hiding behind a couch. Just a random woman.
And then like in other places, it's just like the eye of fuck, what was her name?
Come on. Sadako.
Fuck.
Sadako? Is it Sadako? Shit, now
or is it Sachiko?
Oh wait, no. See, The Grudge is one of my favorite horror movie series.
Fuck, what was her name?
If I fuck this up, no, Sadako. I'm pretty sure. Can't believe we're getting sidetracked on this.
It's just like we're supposed to know this.
Sadako.
Fuck, we're supposed to know this.
Kayako. Fucking Sadako's The Ring.
We love horror.
Sadako's The Ring.
We love horror.
Yeah, 100%. We know what we're talking about.
Like,
oh, that was offensive. I'm so upset at myself.
Like, I heard mixed things about that one though.
Yeah. Like but here's the thing. I have a predisposition for being terrified of The Grudge. Like that's the one series that actually scares me because when I was a little kid, I saw it in the cinemas with my mum.
Yeah.
And then after I did, she used to walk around the house making the noise, just to fuck with me. So like, I'm scared of those movies. Like they actually get to me. So I really want to play it because I think I'm going to appreciate it a little bit differently than other people.
Yeah. Because
from what I've seen, like it is like if you weren't scared of The Grudge, it'd look kind of boring. But since I'm like terrified, like I get sleep paralysis, and when I do, I see the Grudge chick.
Oh God.
So that's how bad like I am. That's the one thing that freaks me out is The Grudge. So I really want to play it. But you also had like House of Dead Overkill.
Oh yeah, great game.
Great. So stupid.
It's
like the perfect B movie.
That's literally what it is. It's a grindhouse film. It's a grindhouse film as a game, and it's amazing.
Like the tagline at the front cover, because I got like the collector's edition, and it says they've come for brains. You'll give them bullets. Like that's enough. That's all I need.
That's literally all you need. It's perfect.
Beautiful.
And of course, there's Silent Hill: Shattered Memories.
Silent Hill: Shattered Memories. Yep.
Which I
think isn't that the best way to play it on the Wii?
Yes, on the Wii, because a lot of times the puzzles are very geared towards the motion controls.
And I remember seeing that like the PS2 version literally just translated that across and just said instead of using movement controls, you just use the analog stick. So it's like, why can't I just press X?
So like, if you're gonna play Shattered Memories, just get it on the Wii. It's also cheaper on the Wii.
Yeah.
But like,
I think like one of the coolest games released on the Wii was Escape from Bug Island.
I see Escape from Bug Island. I've never seen it or played it.
Yeah, it's like one of those real bad Wii games that's also decided to be a survival horror game. That's also bad. That's about killing bugs. Like, that's enough to sell me on it. I'll play it.
Like,
that's all it is. It's just a shitty survival horror game. But I don't know.
Like, if you find joy out of it, then hey, more power to you.
That's the thing. I really like. I like my horror games to be a bit weird,
Yeah.
a bit broken, a little bit silly.
And
I don't know why. There's something about it.
And there's one more console I want to talk about real quick for this generation, and that's the Wii U.
Would you classify the Wii U as this generation?
I would, yeah, but like there's also the Wii U.
Yeah,
the Wii U I think is like a weird gray area.
In between.
So there's not really much for it. So the main one is there's actually like two of them I want to bring light of. That's Zombie U and Fatal Frame 5.
I have Zombie U. I think honestly, because I got Zombie, which is the re-release on, and I think the Wii U would be the best way to play it.
It is. It definitely is, because like it uses the gamepad as like your map. You can see everything, and then like just on the screen, it's just gameplay. Like
and then like use it as a backpack too as well.
Yeah, like Zombie U is still a great game. It's hard as shit, but it's really good.
Yeah, I've tried to play like because I only got the Wii U version recently. I tried to play the PS4 version, and I just kept getting fucked up by bloody British zombies.
And then we're getting a second game too, also.
Really?
Like, I'm pretty sure we are. Like,
I
might be misremembering that. Hold on.
It's been a long time since Zombie came out. Zombie U, so.
Like, I might be misremembering this. Because like I'm on the Wikipedia page. Like sequel. Okay. A prototype for a sequel was developed but was canceled when the game failed financially. That explains it.
Okay. Sounds like another episode of Cancelled Horror Games.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
But there's also Fatal Frame 5, Made in the Blackwater.
That's the one with all the quote unquote sexy costumes, isn't it?
I am not sure. I believe so.
Yeah.
Because I know one of them is Zero Suit Samus. I know that.
I think there's like a lot of them like wearing like lingerie and stuff.
That I'm not.
Just stop, Japan.
Like, I'm not too sure on that personally. But oh wait, no, I'm actually seeing two of them right now, and it's Zero Suit Samus and Zelda.
This is a Zelda one?
Yeah, it actually looks really cool. It looks sick.
That's amazing.
But like,
that's fucking amazing.
But the thing that sucks with Fatal Frame 5 is that like, you fuckers get it physically. We only get it digitally.
Like, granted, we didn't get that many copies. Like, you cannot find it anywhere anymore. Besides, I'm assuming pre-owned stores and online. Yeah,
but even then, you still get it. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, we still are able to play it on our consoles.
Yeah, like,
which is nice.
I got it. I'm glad I did though. But like, I need to find time to actually play it because like. Oh wait, no wait. There's a lingerie. I just found it.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, point proven. But even then, I still
out of my brain.
Like, I still need to find time to play it. Definitely.
That's it. Like, that's the whole fucking reality of the situation. Is that when do we have time to do anything? And that's honestly why I started the channel, so I could. It was just literally so I could fucking play my backlog. Give me an excuse to do it.
Hey, it works.
But there is one Wii U horror game called The Letter. Have you heard of this?
I feel like I have, actually.
It's like a fucking Steam Greenlight shitty horror game that somehow was released on the Wii U.
Huh.
And it's just you wander around some really terribly designed room. And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Ooh, all right. All right, we got one more generation, and that is this generation currently.
Yay.
We've been at this for 2 hours almost.
Fuck, has it been 2 hours?
Yep.
Wow.
All right, let's get right to it. PS4. Let's do it.
Yep. All right, let's breeze through this one.
Evil Within 1 and 2.
Fuck the Evil Within 1. Piece of shit game. I hate it so much. Evil Within 2. So good.
Shit.
Seriously, I fucking hate that game. Hate it.
Like, I heard Evil Within 2 being, like, really fucking good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like, that's definitely a game I really do want to get into. Like, I played a bit of Evil Within 1.
Don't need to play the first one.
Yeah, I heard that at least. So it's like I played a bit of Evil Within 1, and it's like I thought it was okay. I thought it could be better, but even then it was still like a good time for me, to say the least.
There's just so much about that game that I just fucking despise. Like, I don't know. I want to replay it at some point.
Yeah.
But
let's see.
I used to have an old YouTube channel that is dead to the world now. It's actually the same one I have now, but I've just put the video on private.
Yeah.
And I reviewed The Evil Within, and I fucking I hate the fact that it doesn't know if it wants to be a stealth game or an action game. The story is just an excuse to be like, oh, by the way, we can just put you here now because it's spooky, without any kind of logical reason to go there. The AI of the enemies is just shit, and they can just see you no matter what, even if it's stealth. Like, you stab someone in the back, and the guy stands up. And then everyone goes, oh, look, there's a guy killing someone stealthily, we better go kill him. You can't sprint for more than a second.
Jesus.
You can't even carry more than 5 matches. They're matches. You need to upgrade your inventory to hold more matches.
Yeah.
They come in a box of 100.
Oh god.
That's just me. That's just me going off. If I sat down and wrote why I hate this game, it'd probably make sense. But yeah, there's just a lot of things in this game that I don't like. But the sequel was actually a really fun time.
Yeah. Let's see. Until Dawn.
Been meaning to actually finish that game.
It's really good. Until Dawn is actually a really good slasher game.
And I think that's there should be more games. I think with the slasher genre especially, it's the one genre where it feels like it fits really well in that kind of game.
Yeah, definitely. It's
we do have your Friday the 13th and stuff, which I think are really fun. Yeah. But imagine a Friday the 13th game where it was the same as Until Dawn, and you had to make decisions to see you lived and died and stuff.
That'd be cool, actually.
That whole genre already, when you go to the cinemas, you're screaming, "Don't go into the shower," or "Don't do that." It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Just playing a game version of it. I think that'd be great.
Let's see. Outlast 1 and 2.
Okay, so what's your opinions on... I liked Outlast 1. I really loved the DLC, the Whistleblower. Outlast 2, I'd snap in half if I could.
I still haven't played Outlast 2. Outlast 1, however, fucking amazing. It's such a good game.
And I think the reason why it's so good and why I don't like the second one is because it's short and it's sweet.
Yeah.
Outlast 2 is we know this, you're going to get in, you're going to have a fun time, you're going to get out. Well, and that gameplay style works really well for that kind of that brevity.
Yeah.
But Outlast 2 just goes on for so fucking long. And it's so many chases, and it's not designed in a way that really tells you where you're going. So it's a lot of trial and error. And for Outlast 1, you had an idea where you needed to go, which made the frantic chases a bit more less frustrating, but still frantic and fun. But yeah, Outlast 2 just drops the ball on that and just goes, oh, you can figure it out, man. And the whole no defending yourself thing's bullshit, by the way, in Outlast 2. People that walk around with picks, what are they called? Stuff you put into the ground. Whatever, shovels and picks and shit. Just pick one up. Anyway.
Going back onto the slasher topic real quick, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight came out. That is a game that I like somewhat. I feel Dead by Daylight does things better than Friday the 13th and vice versa. For example, you could choose in Dead by Daylight whether you want to be a killer or a survivor, when Friday the 13th is very randomized. For me, I love that.
For me, I'd rather it be straight to the point. Am I gonna be a killer or am I gonna be a survivor? Which one am I gonna be? I'd rather do that so that I could plan a bit more.
Yeah, I guess you're right in that regard. It does give you the ability to at least know what you're going to be doing. But I think the spontaneity of it as well, it also means that everyone's going to get the chance to play both.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
You might have when I play Dead by Daylight, I only really playing as survivors because I'm shit as a killer. But with Friday the 13th, it's you have to do it, so you get to actually experience that side of things.
Yeah.
But when I I used to play the game, and I used to be in voice chat, and it'd go like dead quiet, and then you just hear me start like laughing maniacally, and everyone would go, "Oh fuck, he's the killer now, isn't he?" I'm like, "Yep." I was such a cunt playing as the killer.
Let's see. Okay, Resident Evil 7, specifically VR.
Okay, I haven't got a VR set. Resident Evil 7's a good game for 75% of it.
Are you talking about the boat?
Talking about the boat and the salt mines.
Yeah, I get you. But like, the thing with Resident Evil 7 VR specifically is that it feels scarier. It's more in your face. It's a different experience altogether when you play it in VR.
Yeah,
so
I've heard that. I've heard everything feels like it feels taller and more like imposing. Like all the enemies and everything.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, if you do end up getting a VR headset, just try it. Just play it in VR. It's just amazing. To play.
Yeah, if I were to get a VR, that'd probably be like the first game I play, like easily, just because I want to experience that game from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's just so good in VR. Let's see. Let's stick with Resident Evil and go with the second remake.
Damn good game.
It was
damn solid.
It was my game of the year last year.
What was my game of the year last year? Fuck it, Resi 2. Sure, why not?
Like it was my game of the year last year because it was just a perfect remake, I'd say.
Yeah, it did everything really, really, really well. And because I played that to completion before I played the original.
Yeah.
And going back to that one, you can still like see how much like love there was for that game.
Yeah.
Cause, like it's just oozing like so much fucking like you can tell it's made by people who love Resident Evil 2. And sure, it isn't the remake people wanted. Like they wanted the style like the original remake, but I still think it's great.
Okay, there's one more PS4 game I want to bring up.
Okay.
And it's gonna hurt.
I'm scared.
PT.
It's like, what would you do if you heard the disconnect Discord notification? Don't fucking want to talk about it. It hurts. I have a joke. I have a really dark joke for you if you want.
Okay.
You need a bit of context though. Shit. Okay. So my father committed suicide when I was 7, and my joke is I feel more upset about PT than I do about that.
Oh.
It hurt more. That's how it's yeah, but it hurt.
Yeah.
PT hurt. So there's your dark joke. Yeah,
like,
don't subscribe to my channel.
Like PT was just perfect.
Such a good time. It
was literally a playable teaser. That's all it was. But god damn it, it was just perfect.
I know, I've seen it on lists on like the best horror games of all time, and I'm like, I can't argue against it.
Like,
I can see why people would think that. Like, it's so good.
Like, it's literally the scariest piece of media ever made.
You reckon, like, full on? Oh, okay. That's a pretty big claim.
I'm sticking with it because...
Yeah, go ahead.
Because...
Nothing has jump scared me more than when Lisa appears out of nowhere and rushes towards you.
Yeah.
I fucking was with a group of friends because we were playing that when it dropped, and like I threw the fucking controller. Everyone freaked out. Like that game got me. So good.
That one jump scare was all it needed.
Yeah.
Like,
but even everything, like the atmosphere, the whole idea, like when you first do that first loop, like your mind just goes, "What? Like this is the game." And then, like, it just gets better and better and better as you go along.
Like, everything about it was just perfect. The scares were there. Yeah. The atmosphere was perfect. Going through the house in that loop, even that, something like so arduous was actually cool and scary because subtle things change throughout.
Yeah. And, like, it felt like a real place.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, like, everyone's gone through, like, their house at night and had that creepy moment. They're like, oh, there's something here. And you're familiar with your house and shit, but you still feel a bit creeped out. And that's like PT was that the game.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, those things you think are there, they're actually there. But I think we can't move on from the PS4 without mentioning Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think that's a crime.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it is. Because you've got Gothic and Lovecraft horror pouring through that game. It is one of the most intense horror games. I would gotta call it a horror game. Because I think it is. Even though it's very much a Souls game.
Yeah.
Like, that tension you get from a Souls game translates so well to the tension of a horror game.
Yeah, definitely.
So you combine those two things together, I think Bloodborne is one of the best horror games released. Will I ever review it? No.
Okay, Xbox One.
So this is a bit out of my forte, out of my knowledge base.
It's mainly because a lot of them have been multi-platformed. The main one that really comes to mind, unfortunately, is Blair Witch.
Blair Witch, State of Decay, as well.
Oh yeah, State of Decay I never actually played.
Yeah, I played like 20 minutes of it. Blair Witch.
Blair Witch was a game I was really looking forward to as soon as I saw that trailer at E3. Then I played it.
So do you have a PC?
I played it. I played it on the Xbox One.
Okay, so I traded my Xbox One a long time ago. I don't have a PC, so I had to wait extra months for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about that game. Like, I refused to read reviews. So my hype was still going for an extra couple of months. And I played it. And yeah, I think I've realized that I don't like Bloober Team's games. I think Blair Witch made me realize that.
I'm not gonna call it the worst horror game.
No, it's not bad.
It's just painfully disappointing.
It's painfully mediocre. And something we've seen before.
Yeah.
So many times. And I think, like, this is why I mentioned Bloober Team, because this is the games they make. They like to make these kinds of, to be honest, walking simulator haunted house rides.
Yeah.
They lead you on to the next scare. And I don't like that. I don't like those games. Because they all feel the same kind of thing.
I mean, like, at least, like, Layers of Fear, I think has some worth. But, like...
Good for you.
There's some worth in it, but like when it came to Blair Witch, it's like I didn't care about the story at all. I didn't care about the guy's past during war, and it's like it tries to really get at you when it came to the dog.
Yeah. It is, the dog is the only part I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah.
But also it's the most underutilized part of that game.
It definitely is.
But yeah, like he's like, I don't know how much you want to go into it, but he's like a PTSD dog.
Yeah, it's a service dog. It's a emotional support.
And I was thinking, because it kind of hints at the idea that that's going to be like a big thing. Like if he runs away from you, you're going to start having these like traumatic like flashbacks and all this kind of shit, and it's going to get real intense. But like it never happened.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of... Like, even when he disappeared for a while, which he did a lot, because his AI is fucking terrible, nothing happened. So, I was like, okay. And the main character is, like, the most traumatized man in the history of horror.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like, you've got... Like, there's, like, 3 or 4 separate traumas that this dude has. Like, this dog's job is... He's not cut out for it.
No.
This guy's too traumatized.
But, like... The game I thought was just very disappointing.
Yeah.
And it's just
100%.
I was looking forward to it. I thought it was gonna be cool, but then it came out and
the only thing I think it does really well is the forest.
Yeah, atmosphere. Great.
Yeah, and I think the decision to make the game have like this large environment with like dead ends and stuff, so you feel lost, was a great decision as well.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
It's just the last section. Oh, as a Blair Witch fan, fuck, I was geeking out so hard.
I thought that last section just dragged.
It does drag.
Personally,
it does drag.
I don't like how long it drags. I'm in there for 30 minutes.
But when you like first walk up to that place and you see it in like the rain and the lightning and shit,
yeah,
and you're like, oh boy, I'm gonna go in here. But then yeah, you're right. It does drag on, and that's when all the extra trauma comes out and shit. And you're like, oh my god.
At that point,
this guy should never come into the Burkittsville Forest, and he should never go to Silent Hill.
Like
Silent Hill wouldn't know what to do with him.
Like at that point, I'm just like, when I'm in the house, I'm just like, all right, when am I done? And that's a bad sign when I'm just like waiting for it to be over.
And I think if the game was a bit shorter, no, honestly, that game needed to really rein itself in.
Yeah,
it needed to decide what it wanted to be, what story it was going to tell. Because there's like 3 or 4 different things going on at once. And it never has enough time to develop any of them.
Yeah.
So what you're left with is a very mumbled, like, a jumbled up story. And so, yeah, by the time you're like near the end of the game, you're just like, I want this to fucking end. Because I'm just sick of it. Like, it really needed to rein itself in.
Yeah.
Because it tried to tell too many stories at once. Like, all you need to do was, yo, a kid's missing in the forest. Go look for him. That's enough. I'm in the Blair Witch Forest. Shit's gonna get creepy.
Yeah.
I don't need other crap.
Okay. I think that's it. I think.
Yeah, there wasn't been...
In terms of like the Nintendo Switch, though, there's not really much.
They do have... Oh, no, you're right. It's a lot of ports. But it's awesome that they're on there anyway.
Yeah.
Fatal Frame on the Switch would be amazing.
Yes. I would love to see an original horror title on the Switch. Like, not a port, just an original new horror game.
Yeah, it hasn't really... I don't know if there's been anything, but it's been great for, like, if you want horror on the go.
I mean, I know Deadly Premonition 2 is going on there.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that is coming on there. Sorry, before we go, I do want to mention one more game. Alien Isolation was amazing as well.
Fuck that game. It's so
scared the shit out of me.
It's so goddamn difficult.
Yeah.
But
that game made the Xena more scary again, and that alone is a fucking compliment.
Yes, it is. But I think that's it. That's...
God damn.
That's
2.5 hours.
That's horror games through the generations. We
obviously couldn't mention everything.
No, but what we did get out of it, we got a good number.
We got the big ones.
Yeah.
And a couple of the obscure ones.
Honestly, I feel like that's what matters.
Yeah.
So, that's it. That's Horror Games Through the Generations. I want to thank Sunderland for joining me on this long, wild ride of horror games.
Thank you for letting me talk incoherently about games for a while. I know sometimes I rant, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
And if you want to check out his channel, you want to follow him on his Twitter, all of that will be in the description below. So go watch his stuff. Good shit. Really good shit. Watch his Silent Hill stuff as well. That's how I got into him. As well as his back in 1995 review. That's how I got into this dude.
Aw, I remember that review.
So that's it for us here. Next podcast, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll probably just let you guys know on Twitter. But if you want to see my other podcasts, you can check out my channel. If you like what you hear, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell when I upload another one. It might be pretty soon. I have no idea yet. But thank you guys so much for staying with us for 2 hours, and see you guys next time for the next podcast.
Oh my god. 2 hours. Okay, bye.